from you, and I can't escape when you've got nothing to lose. There I know you said.
My name is Rocky Rochford. I am an author of paranormal, espionage, thriller, fantasy, and even their poetry. This year, I've recently released London Calling, my espionage thriller starring John Lewis Herman, a naval man who is plagued by the events of his past, filled with regrets and desire for revenge. He'll do anything to avenge his father's death. Then, after that, I released Wait and Bleed, my psychological horror about a psycho killer who just wants to do nothing more than to leave a massive pile of bodies in his wake, creating his bloody legacy. However, this being the month of December, it's only fitting I'd put out something more upbeat. So I released The Eye of Myers, sequel to The Spirit of Iris, my Rise of the Elohim Chronicles, which is a illustrated YA fantasy about a young boy named Zach, who is a trainee watcher, and basically his job is to save the world against the impending threat of darkness. With it being the final book of the year, I decided to do something a little different with its release. Instead of just your usual blog talk, every appearance it has on a different website, another page of the book is revealed, giving the reader more of a continuous story to follow over a 20-day period, which started on December the 10th and carries on right until the end of the month. All details of the continuous story appearances can be found on my website, rockyrochford.wordpress.com, all lowercase. Also this month, I recently took a trip down to Gibraltar, my favourite little part of Spain. Although I shouldn't say that because they don't like to consider themselves as part of Spain, but part of Britain, and too right. It's just my favourite area, really. It's England, but with better weather. When I was there, I took the time to enjoy the sights, enjoy a couple of pints, and make sure London Calling made plenty of photo appearances here and there at public places. However, one can talk about their release works from morning till night time, but it's always good to have something new on the way. And this month, I've also been hard at work working on my collection, Scars and Souvenirs, a collection of emotional thrillers that shape persons' lives, which solely corresponds to singular occurrences that deal with emotions such as regret, survivor's guilt, and many more occurrences like love is lost, and so much more. As part of the collection, I put out Ghosts earlier on in the year, which appeared in the anthology Dark, which is available on Amazon as a free ebook to all. And Ghosts is essentially the story of John, a troubled soul who has spent too many years watching all of his friends die and leave his side, leaving him alone, bitter and vengeful. So it's only fitting every night when he goes to sleep he sees the ones he left behind who are all too eager to remind him of everything he lost, which includes himself. As part of Scars and Souvenirs, I've put together a trailer showcasing 7 Years Bad Luck, another one of John's story, which is a Christmas tale but with my kind of writing to it, which of course means dark and foreboding, and let's just say, long story short, a mirror explodes in his face, leaving him with a nice little scar for the rest of his life.
that remains. It's no wonder why I have not slept in days. The dust on the floor, piled up from the years, all those scars and souvenirs. Now that you're gone, it's easy to see, but so hard to believe. By the way, you left without saying goodbye to me. Now that you're gone away, all I can think about is you and me, you and me. It's not like before. You left nothing here, it's all disappeared. It hurts me to see that we've been alive. Would it have hurt you to try? By the way, you left without saying goodbye to me. Now that you're gone away, all I can think about is you and me, you and me. It's sad to say that this pain is killing me inside, but it's sad to say that this pain is keeping me alive. Twisting and turning and rips through my heart. It's been tearing me apart. By the way, you left without saying goodbye to me. Now that you're gone away, all I can think about is you and me, you and me. All I think about now is you and me, you and me. All I think about now is you and me, you and me. By the way, by the way, by the way.
Also on the agenda today, I will be voicing my opinion of the recently read Anatomy of a Darkened Heart by Christy Stratos, so you can be sure to enjoy that. This month I've been reading Anatomy of a Darkened Heart by Christy Stratos, and having read it twice now, this is what I have to say. There are some books that you can read and you'll enjoy. There are other books that you'll read and they're just not for you. You know, it's not the right cup of tea. Anatomy of a Darkened Heart is not one of those things. It is a book that will draw you into its Victorian era setting and it will just hold you there. With all the image and mannerisms correctly honouring the past, it's a book that truly commits to the story, and the author has done a lot of groundwork to establish everything is correct, and then there's the characters themselves. As far as a dark psychological thriller goes, this is a story packed with emotions, characters whose storylines have you keep jumping between who I'm going to root for, because suddenly you go from Team Elizabeth to Team Abigail. It's a story that keeps going and it holds you there throughout. As for Miss Stratos herself, as well as the Eye of Mars, my final work of the year is of course a short story called Paradox, which appears in an anthology by Solstice Universe, a new branch of Solstice Publishing. Paradox is a story of a young Jupiterian at the end of the universe during a period of time when time has frozen and the moon men are at war with the inhabitants of Jupiter, only not everything goes as planned, and Paradox, my Jupiterian, finds himself falling into a black hole and ending up in the time of the dinosaurs, where in fact he killed all the dinosaurs. An eternal immortal who should not be present, who is nothing but cataclysmic occurrences which is bound to wipe out the earth and possibly be the reason why time itself stopped in the first place. Hence his name, Paradox. And with Eye of Mars now out, in January the 10th, I will be putting out a special chapter snippet of the new work in progress of Book 3. So be sure to check back to the website for that. And you can expect my next direct to be out in February, where I'll be announcing many more news reveals, such as the latest with Scars and Souvenirs, which by that time will be finished and most likely signed by my publisher. See you next time. I'm Rocky Rochford.